Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Monday, April 11th, 2022. Stand up for your country. Well, I'm back. I got back Saturday, and if you were following BillO'Reilly.com while I was gone on vacation at Turks Caicos, you know we had a terrible situation with Jetblue. And we're going to get into that tonight on a wider level because everybody who flies in this country is getting hosed. Every single person. And we're going to put a stop to it. We've already made inroads. So this is a fascinating broadcast tonight. If you have a pen and paper, that might come in handy. So the airline industry is harming, literally harming millions, probably tens of millions of Americans. And the Biden administration is not doing anything about it. They know about it. Pete Buttigieg, not doing a darn thing. So I'm going to make the case. You're going to see it clearly, I hope. And we are going to do something about this. But first, I got to take a look at the President of the United States, Joe Biden. I know he missed me when I was gone. But he got good news last week. He got good news on the economic front. So jobless claims, which is essentially layoffs, people losing their jobs, fell to the lowest level since November 1968, when the labor force was less than half of what it is now. That's an astoundingly good figure for the United States of America. Now, Joe Biden didn't have much to do with that. It was just momentum coming out of COVID and industries getting up and running again. However, he's the president. And it happened on his watch. But he didn't get any currency for it because the continuing inflation is draining money away from individual Americans, as you all know. And yeah, people are working, but they're not keeping up. The salaries are not keeping up with how much more we all have to pay for what we need. Americans understand that. Even the ones that don't pay attention know they're getting hurt. Okay, so there are two polls in the wake of the good economic news, and Biden not capitalizing. First is CBS, 36 Democrat, 30 Republican, 34 Independent. Do you approve or disapprove of the way Joe Biden is handling his job? Strongly approve, only 19%. That's a dismal number. Somewhat approve, 23%, for a net approve of 42%. Somewhat disapprove, 19%, but strongly disapprove, 39% of the American people. That's a net of 58% down for Biden. That is catastrophic. If it stays that way for the next 6 months, you can kiss the Democratic Party goodbye in the midterm elections. Now, what is Mr. Biden doing to counter these terrible numbers? And Rasmussen Daily Tracking, which came out today, has pretty much the same thing. 58 disapprove. Okay, 57 disapprove, 42 approve. It's about the same as CBS. I put it at 60-40 myself. Okay, so Biden, what is he doing to counter that? Nothing. Okay, because he can't. Because he screwed it up so bad. And where do you see the border in the next 2 months? Where do you see that? And we'll have that a little bit later this week. But boy, that is going to be a catastrophe down there. So Biden had a virtual meeting with India Prime Minister Modi, who is one giant pain in the butt as far as Russia is concerned. He's helping Russia. India and Modi are helping Russia slaughter Ukrainians. Isn't that nice? Why? Because Modi wants weapons from Russia and oil. And so he's helping Putin. Nice. And isn't it interesting that the two countries helping Putin the most, India and China, are the world's biggest polluters? For you global warming people, you climate change people, those two countries pollute the earth far more than any others. And they're helping Putin. Interesting, right? And Biden also did some gun thing today, whatever. So there was a report, and it turned out to be phony, and my crack staff tracked it down because I thought it was real. I was in the Turks Caicos, so I didn't know that India and China are paying Russia for energy in Russian currency, okay, which would bolster Russian currency. But they're not, or we haven't been able to confirm that. So right now we think that India is buying Russian oil with rupees and China is using the yuan. Now, why is that important? Because the ruble is the basis of all Russian economy. It's the basis. Ruble collapses, Russian economy collapses. By the way, Russia could not meet its foreign debt. Last week, it defaulted on its debt, for those of you following this. I don't have much more about Ukraine today. There's a lot of phony reporting coming out of there on both sides, and we're not going to give you that. Unless we can confirm independently, we're not going to give it to you. Biden's going to go to Iowa tomorrow to talk about his economic agenda. Okay. And then on Thursday, he's going to North Carolina to talk about supply chains. The reason he's doing this is to show people that he's not comatose, but it doesn't matter. Poll on Ukraine. Regarding Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the U.S. should, this is CBS again, keep economic sanctions on Russia, 78%. Send weapons to Ukraine, 72%. U.S. troops to protect NATO allies, 63%. U.S. troops to Ukraine, 25%. Interesting poll. Okay, Russia has been suspended from the Human Rights Council. Can you believe that Russia was even on the Human Rights Council? It shows you what the United Nations is. Russia's on the Human Rights Council. Okay. So the vote was 93 in favor of suspending Russia from the Human Rights Council, 24 against, 58 abstentions. Those are all countries afraid of Putin. Throw them up on the screen. The ones that supported, outwardly supported Putin: Algeria, chaotic; Belarus, right next to Ukraine, that's a Russian satellite; Bolivia, communist government; Burundi, have no idea; Central African Republic, no idea; China, you know about; Congo, don't know; Cuba, communist; Korea, North Korea, communist; Eritrea, don't know; Ethiopia, chaotic country; Gabon, chaotic; Iran, you know; Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, both Putin satellites; Laos, communist; Mali, don't know; Nicaragua, Sandinistas rule; Syria, that's a Russian satellite; Tajikistan, Russian satellite; Uzbekistan, Russian satellite; Vietnam, communist country; Zimbabwe. There they are. Those are in the Putin camp right there. Thought you'd like to know. Hey, if you're waiting for the federal government to fix our nation's problems, it's time to face reality. The hard truth is, solutions rarely lie in the hands of those with power. Federal government is broken. It's up to us, we the people, to call a convention of states to propose constitutional amendments, new ones, that put the federal government back in its place. Amendments can slap term limits on Congress, curb spending, get the government out of our daily lives. So please join me and my friend Mark Meckler by signing the petition at conventionofstates.com/bill. This is the only constitutional solution that can bypass President Biden and Congress to save our republic in the future. So please go to conventionofstates.com/bill. Join more than 5 million Americans in 18 states already calling for a convention of states. I support the convention because now is the time to end the swamp's tyranny and get our country back on track. Please visit conventionofstates.com/bill. Okay, Airlines, this is the talking point memo. So let me set this up. We are in business and have been for 25 years to look out for you. This report is not about me. I am just the catalyst for it. All right? We want to enhance your life, make it better, protect you. That's why I am doing the No Spin News and you are watching or listening to me. I don't need the money. I don't have to do this. I could float around the Caribbean as much as I want. But I believe that I'm doing good by looking out for you. Now, I know that's a little self-aggrandizing. I know it, but it's the truth. So, on a Sunday, April 3rd, I arrive at John F. Kennedy Airport in New York City at 5:30 in the morning. 5:30, JetBlue. It's a zoo already. Airline terminal is a zoo. All right? The feds checking people in, shaking them down, throwing stuff all over the place. Just a zoo. Giant lines, 5:30 Sunday morning. Okay, place is packed. Finally get to the gate. The flight, JetBlue 1179 nonstop JFK to Turks Caicos, set to take off at 6:55. On-time sticker. As soon as I get to the gate, I go, great. This is going to be great. It's a 3-hour, 15-minute flight. Okay. 6:55 rolls around, delayed. They put 7:55 on there. Why? They make an announcement. The plane is here in New York, and it's being rolled out to the gate. Apparently that takes an hour. Okay. People sitting there, all right, what are you going to do? Plane has to be at the gate for you to get on. Then at 7:55, delayed again for an hour. This time, nobody says why. We can see the plane at the gate. Nobody says why. 8:55 shows up. Delayed another hour. Now we're working on hour 3. Nobody says why. Then I get involved. Okay? I thought it was discourteous to all the people on the flight not to even give them a reason the flight is more than 2 hours delayed. Right? Okay. Now, when I buy and when you buy an airline ticket, that is a contract. We pay our money in return for the service of taking us from point A to point B. That is a contract. And it's a literal contract because the airlines, if you read the contract, they've got you every way. Okay? But it's a contract nevertheless. And they have to uphold and get you where you want to go, or they're supposed to pay a price, which they don't. So I get a supervisor from JetBlue. Finally, he walks out. Doesn't know me, which is good. I didn't want preferential treatment. I don't want any of that. Okay? And he's a wise guy. He's a wise guy. Now I'm getting a little heated, a little Irish. Okay? And I said, hey, you're the supervisor at this gate. We've been waiting here now 2.5 hours, and you are not updating us. All right? And he gives me some kind of this. So I'm not going to get into that personal thing, but everybody heard it. All right? I made it quite clear that I wanted him to find out what the deuce was happening, as would be my right as a consumer who already paid for the ticket. Okay, fast forward, the flight took off 5 hours and 40 minutes late. Most of the people by that time had left. They went over to a Delta flight at 11, which took off pretty much on time. Okay, so there were only a handful of us left at the JetBlue gate, but I was going to stay to see this through. 5 hours and 40 minutes late. You know why? They didn't have a pilot. There was no pilot ready to fly the plane. None. They had to drag a guy who was off out of his house. He had to drive to the airport, and he finally showed up. That's why they knew they didn't have a pilot. JetBlue knew it. They had to know it. And they hosed everybody on that flight. So I kicked into action. I tweeted about it, got picked up everywhere. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. So today, if you read the Wall Street Journal or most of the other newspapers, JetBlue announces, because of this, trust me, that they're cutting back their flights in the spring and summer because they don't have enough personnel. But first, they lied about why the flight was delayed. And I'll read you the quote in a moment. But first, I want to give you some facts. Saturday, April 2nd, 65% of JetBlue flights throughout the country were either canceled or delayed. 65% on Saturday, April 2nd. Sunday, 76%. And this is a very heavy travel period for spring break. Monday, April 4th, 46%. Delta, Saturday, April 2nd, 15% as opposed that were canceled. Okay, no, I'm sorry. Delta, Saturday, April 2nd, 8% of flights canceled as opposed to JetBlue's 15%. Sunday, 16% of Delta flights canceled, 34% JetBlue. Monday, 6% of Delta flights canceled, 13% for JetBlue. They fly the same routes. Okay? So JetBlue lies and says it's weather. Weather prevented us from doing it. We couldn't get there. And this is the CEO, put his picture up there, Robin Hayes. All right? He's based in Long Island City. He would not provide a spokesman to come on his program tonight. Wouldn't do it. He lied about it. This man lied about it. He knew the press release was going out saying it was weather. All of the delays and cancellations were weather. Bull! Because Delta flies the same routes. Delta got right out to Turks Caicos, as I said. This is a disaster, but it's an ongoing disaster. Last Christmas, 2021, JetBlue only had 72% in December, Christmas season, of their flights arrive on time. 72%, okay? That's outrageous. That is outrageous. I mean, you know, you're flying for Christmas and you can't get there. Almost a third of their flights are either canceled or delayed. They do anything about it? No, it got worse. It got worse. So who's supposed to prevent this? Oh, and by the way, the last weekend, yesterday, Sunday, yesterday, Saturday, another disaster. All right, Saturday, April 9th, half of JetBlue flights in this country were delayed. Half! Sunday, 34%. Insane. Insane. So now, oh, no, we don't. Now they admit they don't have the personnel to fly the planes, but they didn't tell you. You go to the airport, run up all that expense. So the Federal Aviation Administration is supposed to be monitoring this. The guy who runs it is Billy Nolan. Throw him up there. Billy Nolan just took over, okay? He is a bureaucrat. He has never really done anything in his life. He doesn't know what the deuce he's doing. So Billy Nolan is the guy. We asked Billy to come on the show and talk him. No. But the real villain is Pete Buttigieg, the Secretary of Transportation. Buttigieg, again, doesn't know what he's doing. He's Billy's boss. Now, the FAA can fine JetBlue. They can do a whole bunch of stuff to JetBlue. Nothing. Nothing. So this is not going to get better because the Biden administration doesn't care. Am I getting through to everyone? If you go to the airport, it's a dice roll. You'll get your luggage on a plane, it won't take off. Your plans will be ruined, whatever it may be. Spring breakers were stranded for days. Couldn't get back. Horror show after horror show. Nobody in the Biden administration doing anything about it. Are you surprised? And how about the media? Media covering this? No. Fox News covered it a little. CNN, not at all. MSNBC, not at all. ABC News, World News Tonight, not at all. Evening News covered. CBS Evening News, NBC covered. Okay? Little pieces. Little pieces. Number of people affected, tens of millions by this. Okay, so there is an organization called Flyers Rights, one word, flyersrights.org. It's the only one that I know of that is trying to do something to help us, the consumers. And remember, we have to fly. That's why the airlines get away with it. They know we have to go sometimes. All right? It's not a matter of we want to, we have to. So if they abuse you, if they're wise guys like that gate attendant at JFK for JetBlue, they don't care. And here's an interesting factoid. JetBlue pays $17 an hour minimum. You do not have to have a high school diploma to work for JetBlue. In fact, many of their personnel here in New York do not speak the language well. Okay? So $17 an hour, no high school diploma needed, and language skills. And do you think they really care? And I feel sorry for some of these people. They're abused at the gate. The gate attendants can't do anything. What they can do is keep you posted. Supply chain issues have been a catalyst in bringing high-tech manufacturing back to the USA. My tech expert and founder of Brownstone Research calls it the Great Recalibration, and he discusses it in his newsletter, Near Future Report. For the past 35 years, he has helped his subscribers safely navigate volatile times, and he also answers your most pressing questions, like how to protect your money from inflation. What are the implications of a new digital currency and the Great Reset? What will the Fed do with interest rates? And what is expected from the stock market in 2022? Brownstone Research has been at the forefront of nearly every major market move for the past 35 years. Let Jeff Brown help you by signing up for his newsletter today at a 75% discount. It's a 12-month subscription for only $49. Please go to jeffbrowntech.com. 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 Okay, here is the final thought of the day. Turks Caicos, discovered by Columbus, 1492, has the most beautiful water in the Western Hemisphere. The only place better that I have seen with my own eyes, and remember I've been to 82 countries, is the Society Islands, Tahiti in the South Pacific. Anyway, we'll run you some pictures through. It was primarily an underwater trip, snorkeling. We did a little snuba. We were down there. There I am. And it was fabulous. So the dolphin thing was interesting because we were zipping along in a boat and we see the dolphins. That is a turtle, by the way. That is not a dolphin. It looks like a turtle's a little beard. I followed a turtle for about 400 yards. Fascinating. But anyway, we see these dolphins, and so we stopped the boat. That's an actual shark, a reef shark. And we jump in the water with the dolphins, not the reef shark. I was in the water when the reef shark, there are the dolphins. I was in the water with the reef shark. Reef sharks will not bother you. So guess whose house we were in front of? Oprah. We were encountering the dolphins in front of Oprah's house. I don't think she was home. I looked around, but the guy says, hey, that's Oprah's house. It was a beautiful house. Now, should you go? Well, I would say no, not now. Why? It's too expensive because they lost so much money from the 2 years of COVID. Everything is just astronomically high. So let me just tell you something. I don't drink. I never drank. I was an athlete. I never really wanted to. If I drank alcohol, I would be in prison. And I think we all know that. So some of my crew go to the Ritz-Carlton bar, okay, on Grace Bay Road. Grace Bay is the water. Fabulous. Beach, fabulous water. So they order 6 drinks. Total bill, $218. 6 drinks. 6. A little wine, little tequila, Moscow Mule. I don't know what that is. Maybe they got the mule. But with government tax, service charge, $218.38. 6 drinks. That's everything. Food, cabs, you name it. Not the right time. It's the 4th time I've been there. The other times it was expensive. It wasn't this way. Just crazy expensive. And now this week it's raining the whole week there. We had the best weather ever. We were lucky. But when things calm down, that's a great place to go. Turks Caicos. So the population is 40,000. It's a British island, okay? 88% black, 8% white, rest mixed. Average temperatures in the winter, 75 to 80. And as you saw, just a stunning, stunning water situation in Turks Caicos. So we're back. We're happy to be back, but That was an unforgettable trip. I hope you help out with the airlines if you believe in the cause. Only if you believe in the cause. Thanks for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We will see you again tomorrow. As you may know, inflation is out of control thanks to the policies of this administration. Retirement accounts are especially vulnerable now. When inflation goes up, your savings goes down. Protect your hard-earned wealth against inflation. Please call the people I trust at American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. They are the highest rated firm in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and thousands of satisfied clients. Takes just a short phone call, and they will deliver physical gold and silver right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. Plus, tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. So please don't wait. Call 866-501-5201, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532.
Bill O'Reilly is back on TV and only on The First. No Spin News, every weeknight at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on The First.